What's up, everybody? It's your boy J Rock, and I'm coming at you with my co host Siege for another episode of the J Rock Show. Siege, how are we living today?
Oh, we're living large. It's Friday. You know the vibes. Feeling good. Had some good games this week. Just really living the life here, J Rock. And once again, get to be on the J Rock show. So, I couldn't ask for too much more.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate that. And today, I got this idea off TikTok, and it's a head to head starting five collegiate special.
Okay. All right. Expand. Expand. What are we doing here?
So, do a starting five, point guard through six man for one specific school, for whatever specific school I got picked out. And then you'll compare each of the guys at each position and mutually pick who we think is the better guy.
Okay. I think I've seen these before. I like it. What schools are we rocking with?
Okay, so I've got you for Kentucky, and I'm down for UCLA.
Okay. All right. Two blue bloods. So I gotta ask a qualifying question here, Jared, before we get started. When we're picking these guys and putting them in our lineups, are we basing it off of their time in college or their time in the NBA or like whole body of work?
Mostly college. I factored NBA in a little bit, but I kind of mostly college.
Okay. So when we pick who's got the better side, we're basing off their play in college. Okay. Got it. Got it.
Correct. All right. So who you got at point guard for Kentucky all time?
Well, this position is actually one of the main reasons I asked that question very specifically, because there's a lot of guys you can go with for every position for Kentucky. But at point guard, I'm gonna have to go with John Wall. He was something else in college. Crazy to me. You look back at that roster and they weren't able to win anything because that was an insane roster. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go John Wall with the point guard. If we were basing it off their NBA play, Rajon Rondo is gonna be my guy. But purely college, it's gonna be John.
All right. I respect that. John Wall, definitely one of the best Kentucky guards ever, to be quite honest.
Yep.
All right. And so for my point guard, this might be a little controversial. This guy was one and done, but I like the versatility he brings. So I'm going to go Lonzo Ball. I'm going to go
Okay.
Lonzo Ball at the point. In college, he could shoot, he could rebound, he could defend. And with the way I've kind of got this lineup constructed, I think he is the perfect facilitator to be leading this offense.
I like that. I do like the facilitation he brings to the court. He's a good like on court coach, so that's good. So where are we putting the edge there?
I think if you would look at NBA, if we were factoring in NBA, I think obviously it would be John Wall, even though because Lonzo struggled a little bit more with injuries.
Yeah.
But Lonzo averaged just under 15 in his career. John Wall just averaged just under 17 in his career, but Lonzo had him beat in percentages and rebounds and assists. But I'd say
All right.
this
I'll
one for
give
me
you
is
the
fairly
edge.
close. I say we wash this one.
Let's call it a push. Yeah. I'm down for that. Let's call it a push. Let's move the shooting guard. Let's move the shooting guard. All right. You go first on shooting guard.
So the way I constructed this lineup, like I said, I'm going for some long range shooting and versatility offensively. And this guy at the shooting guard, one of the greatest shooters of all time. I got Reggie Miller.
Oh, that's a hard one to beat.
I got Reggie Miller at the two guard,
Yeah, he's a legend.
Enough said. I mean, there's really not much you can say about Reggie Miller that hasn't already been said.
Yeah, quite the guy. All right. So this is tough for me because obviously with either of these schools in Kentucky and UCLA, there's going to be some guys left off, and the guard spots are the hardest one for me. There are plenty of guys I could have argued over John Wall, but John Wall was that guy in college, so I went with him. Shooting guard's even harder for me because you got guys like Devin Booker, you got Tyler Hero, you got Malik Monk. There's even a couple other point guards you can move up there. Jamal Murray was a maniac
Jamal Murray,
at Kentucky.
I
but
forgot
I,
about that. I forgot
yeah,
about
Jamal
that.
Murray was a maniac at Kentucky. But I'm actually going to take a guy who played the point at Kentucky and move him up to shooting guard because he is that guy. And the reason I'm not taking Devin Booker is because we're talking their college career. Devin Booker was good. He was a great role player in college, and he's progressed into a superstar, but he wasn't the same Devin Booker at Kentucky. He was really good, but he wasn't the same guy. I'm going to take a guy who was the star of the show when he was there. I'm going to move him up to shooting guard. I'm actually going to take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the 2.
Okay. I like that.
And that's a tough one. I mean, like, you talk NBA, Reggie Miller, I'm glad we're not doing NBA because there's not a whole body of work for either of these guys.
Right.
Or for all of these guys.
Reggie Miller did play. I believe Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was one and done. Yeah, he was.
I believe.
And
yeah, he was.
Reggie was there for a full 3 or 4 years, so kind of got to factor that in when I look at this one a little bit. But I got to go with Reggie on that.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I got to go Reggie. I like Shai, and I picked him for kind of the composition of my lineup. But if we're talking an individual one-on-one look at the players in college, I think you go Reggie Miller with this one. So we'll give the edge there to you.
Okay. And then who do you have at small forward for your Kentucky Wildcats?
So this one's interesting too because there's a lot of those guards we talked about that I could move up, right? But I'm actually going to go someone who's maybe a little bit more old school. Maybe people don't remember him as much this generation, but he was that guy back at the time, and he had a great NBA career too. I'm actually going to go with Jamal Mashburn. He's going to give me a little bit of that rugged play style, that hardcore, like super athlete. He can handle the ball too, but he's got a good 6'8" frame on him, can defend, can jump, can do just about everything. And so he's going to kind of be our toughness on this roster.
Okay, I like that. Jamal Mashburn was a dog at Kentucky, without a doubt. All right, and this spot was a little tougher with me, but when I looked at how I, kind of looking at wanting to have shooting well throughout at least the 1 through 4, I'm going to go with Jason Kapono. Maybe not as well remembered as a lot of other guys, but
Jason Kapono?
In his career, he shot 44% from 3, 46 from the field, averaged a solid 17 and 5, and that's just for how I wanted this lineup constructed. So I'm gonna go with Jason Kapono.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna be honest. As much as Jason Kapono was a hooper, I'm giving the edge to Jamal Mashburn on this one.
Yeah,
he's got the better stats, and to me, he's the better player. Mashburn's the guy there.
Yeah.
I'll give you Mashburn. So who you got at your 4?
So at my 4, I got another stretch, a guy you could play at either the 4 or the 5. Really good. He was a really good stretch big in college, and especially so in the NBA as he kind of got a little older. I'm going to go with Kevin Love, at my 4. Score, get you rebound, and he can shoot the rock. He can score the rock in about any way. A lot of versatility there at 4.
Okay, and look, I'm going to be honest, I love Kevin Love, beast in college, but I knew from the moment we start this that I had the 4 slot on lock in terms of the advantage because we're talking a guy who I don't really like him so much in the NBA. I'm not a huge fan, but when you talk about college greatness in an isolated vacuum, this guy is arguably one of the greatest college basketball players of all time, which pains me to say because I don't love his game now. Well, not his game. I don't love his mentality now, but I'm going to go Anthony Davis. I mean, he was a monster in college. It's a clear choice for me there, Anthony Davis.
Davis, another guy you 4 in the 5 there.
4 in the 5, yep. So I don't know. You got any pushback on edge to Davis? Because I'll hear out an argument. I'll hear an argument out.
This one is interesting for me because Kevin Love did score and was a little bit more efficient than Anthony Davis, but this one is kind of tough for me. Not gonna lie, it's kind of tough for me. The rebound stats are very similar. Kevin Love could stretch the floor a little bit more in college, when he was at UCLA. So this one is kind of tough for me.
All right, so I think you're right. Kevin Love filled it up on offense a little bit more than Anthony Davis did. for me, where Anthony Davis made his mark in college and where that was like a huge thing, was his defense. I mean, he was sensational. There was no better defender in college basketball, and there really hasn't been one since. We're talking a guy who was all NCAA tourney, all region, all SEC, player of the year in the SEC, Wooden Award winner, Naismith Award winner, defensive player of the year, all freshman team, all defense team, all as a freshman because we know he was a one and done. To me, the resume speaks for itself. I think I'm still taking Anthony Davis over Kevin Love, but maybe we call it a push if we can't agree, and we let those down below decide.
I'll give you Anthony Davis.
All right. So the five.
So at the 5, for me, this was a no-brainer. One of the greatest college basketball players of all time. Got to go with Kareem, man.
I saw that one coming.
Multiple national championships. I mean, UCLA teams of the late 60s, early 70s.
I mean, there's not a lot else to be said. You're talking about one of the greatest all-time college basketball players, without a doubt, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, he speaks for himself. The resume speaks for itself. So I'm just gonna take who I can here. I don't think anyone gets the edge over Kareem when you look at a guy who averaged 26 and 15 in college. But I'm going to take Boogie. I'm going to take DeMarcus Cousins. He was a beast. Again, he was on that team with John Wall. Still, to this day, I can't figure out how they didn't win anything or go anywhere with that squad. But I'm going to take DeMarcus Cousins, and I'll go ahead and say Kareem's got the edge on that one, no problem.
All right. So we are tied at 2 spots apiece coming down to this 6-man roll. So 6-man to decide who wins this head-to-head. So
all right, you want me to go first?
Yeah, who do you got for your 6-man?
This is even tougher than all the other ones because there's not a position restriction. I can pick anybody. So that's hard with a school like Kentucky because they've got so many guys. There's a few guys I'm thinking about taking. Devin Booker really embodied a role player while he was at Kentucky to me. So he's kind of he's in the conversation, but then there's guys like Rondo I would love to have as a facilitator off the bench. But this is tough. You know what? You know who I'm actually going to go with? I said that, and then I second guess. You know what? I am going to go with Rajon Rondo.
Okay.
I got a lot of athletes things. Rondo was a great defender, great facilitator. I've got plenty of other guys who can score the ball on this squad. Rondo's going to come off the bench, give me some defense and stuff, because Boogie and AD, college guys, like AD will play the whole game for me. He'll play the 4, and when Boogie needs the rest, he'll play the 5. So give me a little more depth at that kind of backcourt. I'm going to take Rajon Rondo.
I like that. Now, this one was tough for me, again, went back and forth, Kareem obviously is the guy you're not going to take out of the game.
Right.
This is a tough one, but I'm going to go way back to pre-Kareem days, and I'm going to go with Gail Goodrich.
Ooh, that's a good pick. That you went way deep in the bag for that one, J-Rock.
Yeah, in his few years, he won 2 national championships. Was All-American, averaged 19 and just under 5. Can play really anywhere the 1 through 3. Maybe I think he'd be a really undersized 3, but I'm gonna go with Gail Goodrich.
All right, I like that. And they played in such different eras. I don't really know how to give an edge to either of these guys, to be honest, J-Rock. Me personally, I'm trying to figure out how I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, if you're going off numbers specifically, Goodrich, hands down. But like you said, Rondo was more of a facilitator, and stats for assist, keeping assist, I don't believe were really counted at that time. As I did my research on College Basketball Reference, I did not see a assist category for him. And like you said, the thing that makes it so tough is they played in different eras. So it's how do you weigh that up? But I gotta go.
Here, how about? I think I agree. If you're about to say Gail Goodrich, I think I agree. So I want to give you the edge on that one, give you the dub. But I'm also going to pose that as the call to action for everyone down in the thread. Let us know if we made any mistakes on who takes it, if we should have taken someone else. I want to hear from everybody else because this is an interesting topic to me.
All right, yeah, for sure. Everybody, make sure you get in the chat and tell us who you think won this matchup, or give your own matchup of these two schools. And as always, thank you for joining me on the show today.
Oh, it's been a pleasure as always, brother.
This is J Rock. Thank y'all for tuning in to this week's episode, and see the game, be the game.